Hey guys, I just wanted to get together and talk about one thing since the last review that I did for FmExpressions. I have tried out 613 Originals actually a few times since FmExpressions. Um, Probably three different orders and two or three hundred shirts per color. So basically, one of the things that I wanted to say is that I think that 613 Originals may actually be a better product than FmExpressions. With that being said, there are a few things that I think FmExpressions does better. One being the website. If you have a chance to go to 613 Originals and upload a file, just for example, white, you would notice that you won't be able to see the design. Um, the the color of the background is actually white in general. So whenever you upload a white design, even if it's a translucent design, then you won't be able to see it. So make sure that when you do export your files to be used on 613 Originals, that it is the right size in whatever graphics software that you use. I personally use CorelDRAW X8. So just make sure that before you export, the size is correct. For example, if it's left chest, 3.5 to 4 inches, whatever you decide. Just make sure that it's reading correctly whenever you export. That is a potential error that I keep thinking I'm going to run across if I do forget. So, just make sure that you do that. You're not able to change the background color as you do with FmExpressions, which is also nice. They give you a generated mock-up, so it kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to look like if you didn't already check it out in your own graphic software as far as contrast. The other thing I think is a little better with 613 Originals is how they actually cut the transfers. FmExpressions, they're all over the place. So if you have, even something like a piece of paper, and your design's here, the actual cut file could be, like this. I mean, it's a little exaggerated, but when you actually have this down on your heat press and you're not able to see your design on the other side, that's a problem. It could be, kind of curved a little bit, again, a little bit of an exaggeration, but when you're looking at something like a full back, maybe a name across the back, you're going to notice if it's, even, eighth inch or a quarter inch off, whatever. So, 613 Originals, like I said, I feel like they cut the file a little bit better, or the transfer. And pricing. That's the other thing with 613 Originals. Positive and negative. Positive side is the setup, I believe, is actually a little bit cheaper on both the one color and the two color transfers. I'm not sure on the full color, but the setup is a little bit lower by a few dollars. The cost per transfer, I believe, is the same, but the shipping cost is also less. Whenever you get something from FmExpressions, you're looking at $18 to $25 regardless of what you get. And how they come, in a padded envelope that is typically ripped open, at least on my end, they could do a little bit better for 15 or 20 bucks. So keep that in mind. Shipping, I believe, with 613 Originals, I think the cheapest that I got it was around $13, somewhere in there. I think the other ones were around 15-ish. And, a positive for FmExpressions, you're also looking at around $200 to get free shipping. 613 Originals, I got over $200 and I still didn't have free shipping. So just keep those kind of things in mind. Quality-wise, I think they're pretty much identical as far as the plastisol, or what they actually use for the ink. So that's kind of one thing to consider. Weigh the pros and cons. Obviously, for either company you go to, it's going to be a pretty good product. I haven't really had any issues with any of them as far as cracking. Again, make sure whenever you press the design, you wait at least 24 hours before you're doing wash test. That's kind of a misconception that that's the right way to do it. So make sure that you definitely wait 24 hours. If anybody's pressed one of these things, it's nice and soft whenever you go to press it the first time, but within even an hour it hardens up, and so give it enough time before you make any harsh decisions as far as what you're planning on using. And if there's anything else anybody's really wondering, I guess with these transfers, I've gone through thousands of them at this point. And I'm not paid by either one of them. I wish I was. If they want to throw me a bone, whatever. But just to let you know, if you have any questions, give me a shout. All right, see ya.